Hello and welcome. This is Papri from the Heritage Academy, and today we have with us a very special person, Dr. Jan Grant from Scotland, and today we are going to talk about health, lifestyle and addiction. So my first question to you, sir, you have been in India for the last 5 weeks, and what has been your common observation about addiction in Indians and the youth of India?
Well, my first thought is smoking a lot. I see a lot of smoking going on amongst young people. That's no different from my country. Drinking, I haven't seen so much of it at all. I can't remember any time I've seen young people drink other than chai. I think, though it's not addiction, I do think that there is an issue here with body weight. And I've had experience of, I can smell people smoking drugs as well. And I've been offered it as a tourist as well in numerous cities. So clearly it is available and maybe widely used. But again, I haven't seen many young people do that. It's mostly smoking and food, I think, is.
Yeah, and the food in India, that's a very integral part of our lives. Like probably we can't do without it. So, keeping in mind the cultural diversity and significance food has with it, how would you suggest us few measures to, have this in control?
Yes, I wouldn't want to change your food culture because it is a wonderful part of your country. It's my most favourite part in my 5 weeks here. But I think how you change, I think you have to look at not how much you eat, because I don't think you eat unhealthily. You eat a lot of vegetables. You do eat fried food, but not in great abundance. I think it's how much you eat. You eat a lot when you do eat, and also the time of days that you eat. Yes. I think at the end of the day, you eat too much. Yes, and particularly at the end of the night. I mean, we know our biology. We know that we need something like 3 to 4 hours for our body to metabolize the food that we eat. And I think it's very difficult. Your body cannot metabolize if you're lying down sleeping. You need to be active, either walking, cleaning, whatever. I think that could be one way of trying to change the way that you eat. But I don't think food is necessarily the largest problem for weight. I think also physical activity, I think, is a really important part. It's a balance. It's energy in, energy out. It's this, is a scale.
The balance,
between the two. And again, I don't think I see a lot of opportunities, certainly in the city, for people to get out and walk anywhere. It's just streets and streets.
Actually, we are probably this generation, and I fall into that generation as well. We are so much into our phones that we really do not, want to probably go out, and that is a major addiction we have. So, can you just quickly give us a small roadmap, maybe, because how we can manage it?
Well, I have 2 children of my own. I don't have a roadmap because they do exactly the same. This is a problem. I don't know how. Can you ban mobile phones? I don't think you can. I mean,
that is not possible.
It's not possible. And they are good and bad. They are a source of knowledge, but they are addictive in this, and they stop us doing our normal lifestyles. There must be some way you can ban them in certain places like schools and universities. I think maybe that's a first step. I know they do this in China. But I mean, I think this is an impossible thing to try and change. Technology is hard to stop, I think. Yeah, I do think that, maybe there's some way governments can use mobile phones to encourage young people to take up physical exercise through specific apps or whatever. This is a new technology, a new addiction. I'm old style. I go back with alcohol, drinking and smoking.
About coming to smoking and alcohol, that kind of addiction, that is very cool to us. We perceive that as something, a cool element. So, would you give us few small tips that would make it probably a less bit cool and,
We've tried. My government and lots of governments, they banned advertising of smoking, so no longer can you see these cool images of people smoking. So that was one step, but that didn't really have much effect. They've tried other ways of reducing smoking, reducing the image of coolness, and I think for young people, they don't really pay attention to that. If they want to do it, they will do it. So what our governments now recognise is that the only way that you can stop this is by making it too expensive for people to buy, and that is the main policy back home, is that we put high level of tax on smoking. I think one simple thing about smoking here is that you should ban the sale of single cigarettes. So I noticed that you can just go up to any stall and you get one cigarette and off you go. I don't think you should.
It's actually very less costly here.
Yes.
So the access is a lot more, you know,
Yes,
with the pocket money and everything.
yeah.
It's very easy to get that.
It's so cheap here. I mean, I noticed this, 100 rupees for 10 cigarettes, it would cost 4 times that price back home. And this is the thing, so this is another measure we took at home. You cannot buy packets of 10, you can only buy packets of 20 now, and that will cost you 700 rupees. Exactly. So there's small things you can do to make it hard for them to buy and to access it. We also have a strong identification system now. You have to produce ID that you're 18 to buy cigarettes, and that has been effective. But for us, we still have a problem with smoking, no matter how much we have done in our own government, and we've had huge success at reducing smoking in young people, but it's still at a high level, and it's something it's difficult to stop, I think, really.
Right. So I'd move on to my final question. You know, a message you'd probably give to the youth of the country, because there's work, by work I'd mean a very erratic work life, you know, it's very tough to balance. So, and a good way of life expectancy to have a good life is balancing out everything we do. So what would be your take on that?
Yes, I mean, I think we all, from adult to young people, I think we're faced with a very busy life, our demands of work. I think part of the problem is that life's too easy for us nowadays, so I think we need to be very careful that we don't get in from work, sit down, immediately start eating and watch the television. Right. You get out, you go for a walk, you go for a swim if you can, you take up a sport, because these things make you feel good and make you feel better than you might feel tired at the end of the day, but actually getting out and making your body work makes you feel better for this. I think it's a challenge for everybody across the world. I'm not sure how successful we'll be, because our lifestyle now is very sedentary, and this is an issue, and this leads to problems, as we talk about body weight as well.
And that is the happiness quotient Sir has been talking about. So thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.